So, you decided to see a counselor, but you're not sure where to start. In this video, I'm going to share 5 things that you should consider when trying to find a good counselor that meets your needs. Now, those of you that don't know me, my name is Leo Esquivel, and I'm a professional counselor that breaks down mental health in a way that's relatable and just easier to understand. If this is something you're looking for, please consider subscribing to this channel. Now, let's get into it. So one of the first things you want to do before you go into counseling is you want to try to identify what needs or what goals you have for going to counseling, right? Now, most of the time, people that are going through something like a breakup or struggling with anxiety or maybe depression, they will seek out counseling to address that issue. Now, those of you that are wondering if you have to see a counselor only when you're going through emotional distress, that is not true. You can actually go to a counselor if you want to focus on self-development, you want a little bit of self-care, or if you just want someone that can hear your thoughts and reflect back the ideas that you're trying to navigate. So one of the easiest ways to identify your goals and your needs is just to sit down and write these things on a piece of paper. When you go meet a counselor, you can start presenting to them at that point. The second thing you want to do is check their credentials. There's a lot of different type of licensed counselors out there. We have LCSWs, which are clinical social workers. We have LMFTs, which are licensed marriage, family therapists. And we also have licensed professional counselors. Now, that's the license that I'm currently working for. I'm currently considered an LPC associate in the state of Texas, and all that means is that I've already finished grad school. I completed my licensing exam, and I'm just completing a couple more hours before the board gives me full autonomy and says, all right, Leo, go and start your own practice. So any one of those licenses will help you navigate any emotional problem that you may be going through, any mental health issue you may want to address. The different licenses just means that they specialize in a different area. Okay, now the next thing you want to do once you meet with a counselor, you want to look for a connection. This is probably the most important thing that can happen in a counselor and client relationship. You see, if you don't feel like you can trust this person, if you feel like they're not listening or they're not trying to meet you where you're at, then that's probably a sign that that counselor is not a good fit. Counselors are here to assist you, so that means that you have to be comfortable with their style of counseling and in the environment. So are they good listeners? Are they trying to address your needs? Do they make you feel safe? Do you trust them? These are all things that you can be considering while meeting with the counselor for the first time. Now, sometimes it could take maybe 2 to 3 sessions to establish these things with a counselor, so don't give up on them right away. However, if after a few sessions you feel like this is not a good fit, feel free to keep shopping around. Counselors are trained professionals to understand that sometimes it's just not a good fit. And here's an extra little nugget that I'll give you. As a counselor, one of the things that I need to do in my first couple of sessions is establish what is called a therapeutic alliance. And this is where I can earn the trust of my client so that we can actually navigate our relationship in addressing their issue. If you don't trust me as a counselor, that more than likely means that you won't share everything that's on your mind. And if you don't share everything, then we won't be able to overcome some of the challenges you may be having. So please consider establishing a good relationship with your counselor. Once you feel like you trust them, then the true therapy can really begin. Now, once you've established trust, the next thing you want to look for is you want to see if this counselor is challenging you to grow. The last thing that you want is to have a counselor that doesn't push you to address some of these issues or that doesn't give you honest feedback. A great counselor will do this while not pushing their beliefs or their values onto you. Remember, you're seeing a counselor because they're supposed to meet your needs and they're supposed to help you discover the things that you're struggling to discover on your own. The last thing you want is have a counselor that will be telling you what to do, or you should do this way because that's what worked for me, or this is what all my clients are doing, so you should also do this as well. No, a counselor will guide you in discovering your own path and encouraging you to take a chance and see what you can learn from it. And in many ways, that's the ultimate test of counseling, right? After you're done with your sessions and you're going on back into the real world, right, so to speak, if somebody asks you, hey, what did you learn in counseling? If you can honestly answer that question, then that means that counselor did their job. If somebody asks you, hey, what did you learn in counseling, and you don't even know, and that's probably a sign that your counselor didn't push you or challenge you enough for you to take that next step. And the last thing that you want to consider is feel free to change and adjust your goals as you see fit. Remember, a counselor is there to meet your needs. So if you initially go with a particular need that gets met, and if you feel like you're done with counseling, great. But if you notice that there's another need, let your counselor know. They'll adjust your treatment plan and help you achieve those goals. And before I end this video, I just want to once again congratulate you for taking that next step in your mental health journey, trying to get professional help, and use these things to help you find that good counselor. And once you find them, I hope that the two of you have a great relationship that helps meet your needs. And if you ever just want to go back to the counselor for maintenance, that's also something you can do and to keep in mind moving forward. Till next time, I hope this helps. Leo, checking out.